This is KGW News at Sunrise.
Hey, good morning, everyone. Thanks for getting up with us on this Sunday morning. I'm Tim Gordon.
And I'm Christelle Kumwe. This morning on Sunrise, a shooting victim is speaking out from his hospital bed. What he saw and heard as someone fired several rounds into a crowded bar.
Plus, a building owned and used by the Rajneeshi cult is now on the market in Central Oregon. But first, we're going to check in with Keely Chalmers for a quick look at the forecast this Sunday morning. Keely?
Hey, good morning, guys. Yeah, it's going to be a chilly start to this Sunday morning. We've got mostly sunny skies by this afternoon before more clouds move in. But yeah, the big story today will be those very chilly, in some cases below freezing temperatures out there this morning. We're sitting at 37 degrees here in the metro area, so a little bit warmer, but head outside of the urban area and temperatures are going to be dropping, and they're going to be very chilly out there this morning. We also getting some fog out there, and the fog coupled with the freezing temperatures could create some frost and some freezing fog out there as well. So could encounter some slick conditions out on the roads. Let's check out visibility right now. We're fine here in the metro area, but we're down to about a mile in McMinnville. So patchy fog out there this morning, something to keep an eye out. But again, most of that fog will move out right around 9 o'clock this morning. We'll be at 42 degrees by noon. Again, it is going to be a chilly day, partly cloudy this afternoon. We'll top out right around 43, 44 degrees today. We got cooler temperatures. We got low snow levels in the forecast. We'll talk more about that coming up in just a bit. For now, we'll send it back to you in the studio.
Okay, Keely, thanks a lot. Well, new this morning, a tragic situation along I-205. A homeless man died when a car crashed into his tent early this morning. Now, this happened just before 3:30 along northbound 205 at the Southeast Powell off-ramp. Investigators are trying to figure out why that car went off the road. We know it hit a tent and killing that man sleeping inside. The driver also suffered serious injuries. She was taken to the hospital.
I hear all this glass shattering, and it's like at least a dozen bullets were fired.
Two of those bullets hit the man that you just heard from. He is in the hospital awaiting surgery, and he is one of the latest victims in Portland's record surge in gun violence.
Police are investigating multiple shootings, including a pair that left 3 wounded and 1 dead. KGW's Art Edwards breaks down a busy day for local detectives.
It was a chaotic scene outside the Bossa Nova Ballroom and the Worst Bar Friday night. Someone opened fire, wounding 3 people. One of those, DeAndre Marquise, who goes by Soul Luna. He was hosting an event at the Bossa Nova Ballroom. He went outside and was talking with a friend when he was shot. We talked with him by phone from his hospital bed.
I just hear gunshots, and I felt pressure in my shoulder. But I felt like somebody bumped into me. It didn't feel like a gunshot. I thought someone bumped into me. So I hit the floor after I heard the shots, and then that's when I had turned around, hit the floor, and that's when I got shot in the back of the thigh.
The wounds are to his left shoulder and his right thigh.
All I could do was scream. My arm was just in so much pain. I've never felt any pain like this before.
Soul Luna says police told him he was not the target of the attack, but he's not a stranger to violence. He's been stabbed, and 3 months ago someone fired gunshots at him near the Lloyd Center. The father of 2 is concerned about what's happening in Portland.
Disappointing, because this is where I raise my kids, and I feel unsafe raising them here even. So it's extremely disappointing because I've gone my entire life without being shot at, you know what I mean, and then twice in the same year.
While the investigation continues into the shooting on East Burnside, Gresham police have a homicide to investigate. About 3 Saturday afternoon, they were called to the Columbia Trails Apartments on Northwest 15th Street and Northwest Wallula Avenue. They found 1 person dead.
I was putting my son out for a nap, and I'm laying in bed with him, and I hear about 5 or 6 gunshots go off. And I couldn't tell if it was gunshots or a car backfiring, so I immediately jumped up, ran to the window, didn't see anything. Then I ran to the front door, made sure I locked it, and then soon thereafter heard a bunch of sirens.
Brian Galindo says having that happen with his 16-month-old son by his side got his attention.
It's a little bit unsettling to know that this happens at 3 o'clock during the day.
At this point, there have been no arrests in either of the cases, and detectives weren't done yesterday. More violence broke out last night. At least one person is dead after a shooting near I-5 and North Anchor Way. A car pulled up to an officer around 6 and told him of a nearby incident. When the officer arrived, they found the victim severely injured and began performing CPR. No arrests have been made.
And turning now to the pandemic, the state of Washington is reporting its first cases of the Omicron variant. Officials announced they're tracking 3 cases in 3 of the state's most populous counties. That's Thurston, Pierce, and King counties. They do not believe the cases are related. The patients are 2 men and 1 woman, all in their 20s and 30s. There's still a lot we don't know about Omicron, including the severity of the disease or how effective current vaccines are against it.
We also do not know the travel history for these individuals as of yet. That, as well as vaccination status, are key details that we expect to learn more as we continue our investigation efforts in the coming days. So it is early, but we felt we should share as early as possible with you, the media, and our community.
While so much is still unknown, doctors are still encouraging everyone to get vaccinated or get their booster shot. They say this is especially important for kids and people with chronic health conditions. Well, local teachers have told us that this school year has been very challenging with so many student needs and just not enough time. Now the Portland Association of Teachers is negotiating with the district on working conditions, and it could mean a big change for students. Christine Pitawanich reports.
Teachers I've spoken to say they're overwhelmed, and so are their students, stressed out by the workload, expectations, and of course, the pandemic. That's why teachers say they need more time to deal with the increased need in classrooms.
A number of health-related organizations are ringing the warning bell that we are in a mental health crisis for young people.
On Monday, representatives with the Portland Association of Teachers gave the district its proposals.
So our proposals are designed to try and provide a capacity for everyone to give the maximum amount of service to students and also provide the best, the safest and best environment for students.
Among many things, proposals included limiting staff meetings and shifting teacher evaluations. But what seemed to be a potential sticking point, cutting 1 school day a week short by 2 hours for elementary and middle school students. And at the high school level, shifting in-person school to online learning once a week.
People are working harder than they ever have, and they're still not able to do this because of the huge level of need across the district in so many different places.
Our students are displaying unprecedented levels of stress.
We are in complete agreement that this has been a tough couple of years for our teachers, students.
Dr. Sean Bird is the Deputy Superintendent of Instruction and School Communities at Portland Public Schools.
And we really want to address the concerns that our teachers have. But they presented some proposals yesterday that would have included modifying the school calendar and reducing instructional days. And that's just a proposal that the district cannot support.
Bird says at the elementary and middle school levels, the proposal would result in about 10 days of lost instructional time. And at the high school level, 20 days less of in-person instruction.
Yes, there will be a conversion of in-person student days to other types of education for parts of the day, but they do count. Asynchronous do count as education.
We also agree that teachers need time to plan and they need time to address some of the school climate and culture issues. So we're looking at ways to creatively solve that problem without reducing time for students in school.
The groups will continue to meet and are hopeful there will be an agreement before winter break in a couple weeks. Changes would kick in after winter break for the remainder of the school year. Christine Pitawanich, KGW News.
A jarring photo out of Battleground where an explosive fire left a home destroyed and a dog dead. Clark County Fire says 5 people lived here. All of them made it out okay, but sadly their dog did not. Firefighters got the call a little before 8 Friday night. They say the fire started in the garage and moved fast. Making this even more dangerous, ammunition inside the home started exploding and propane tanks started venting, fueling the flames. Investigators don't know how the fire started. Meantime, in Portland, firefighters are remembering one of their own after Lieutenant Jerry Richardson lost his battle to cancer. Richardson's cancer is believed to be related to his job fighting fires. He was hired back in 1999 and worked at several stations around the city. Richardson was a U.S. Air Force veteran who also served as an air-based firefighter for 4 years. Friends say becoming a firefighter was Richardson's dream his whole life.
And to see what Portland Fire did today for my friend, there's not words to describe how beautiful this was. And I just thank Portland Fire so much for what they've done.
Richardson is survived by his wife Heather, children Eddie and Kaylee, his father Harold, and mother Sharon. We'll be right back.